Hey, Raiders Nation. Today, we're diving deep into the latest updates on the Las Vegas Raiders. And trust me, this is going to be a detailed breakdown you won't want to miss. We're going position by position, and there's a lot to unpack because this team is in a transitional phase, trying to figure out exactly who will step up when the regular season kicks off. Let's start where it all begins, the quarterback room. Now, the conversation here is heating up more than ever. Aiden O'Connell has had a rough go so far, with 3 interceptions in the preseason and only 1 touchdown, and yet he still has the chance to prove he can lead this offense. The question isn't just about accuracy, it's about speed, decision-making, and the ability to extend plays. Chip Kelly wants to see him read defenses quickly, adjust on the fly, and yes, even use his legs when the play breaks down. Cam Miller, on the other hand, is quietly showing he has the tools to challenge for the starting spot. His performance has been inconsistent, but his willingness to push the ball downfield and take chances keeps the coaching staff intrigued. It's rare to see a quarterback 2 battle get this intense, but both players are making it impossible to ignore the competition. Meanwhile, Geno Smith is hovering in the background as a potential starter, but the focus right now is entirely on O'Connell and Miller. The Raiders are clearly trying to figure out who can deliver under pressure, and the preseason has been the perfect proving ground. Moving over to the running backs, this is where things start to get really interesting. Ashton Gentry has emerged as the clear leader in this room. He has the combination of power, vision, and toughness that makes him a standout. Watching in the backfield, you see a player who can break tackles, protect the quarterback, and make plays in both the running and passing game. But beyond Gentry, there's a host of young talent fighting for limited spots. Raheem Mostert, Chris Collier, Zamir White, Sincere McCormick, and Dylan Lowy are all in contention, each bringing something different to the table. Some are more suited for short yardage situations, some excel as blockers, and others are trying to carve out a role as versatile contributors. The Raiders appear likely to carry 4 running backs, and while Gentry is a lock, the remaining spots are wide open. Opportunity and versatility will be key in determining who survives this final preseason push. How these players perform in pass protection and in schemes designed to get them involved in the offense will ultimately decide who earns a roster spot and who could find themselves looking for a future elsewhere. The intrigue in this room isn't just about who runs the ball best. It's about who can make the entire offense run smoothly when called upon. Then there's the wide receiver room, which is brimming with questions and potential. Dante Thornton Jr. has shown flashes of brilliance, and many fans are excited to see him build chemistry with Geno Smith in stretching the field. Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker are veterans whose availability might be affected by contract issues or injuries, but when they do step on the field, they command attention. The rookies, like Tommy Mallow, are fighting hard to prove they belong. Mallow has shown promise, but is far from guaranteed a spot, and that uncertainty adds to the tension in the room. Other names like Alex Bachman, Colin Johnson, Philip Dorsett, and Marquez Callaway are competing for opportunities, with each player needing to demonstrate reliability, versatility, and the ability to execute under pressure. Cedric Jackson has been a standout in the preseason, leading the team in receiving yards and proving that even players who are not guaranteed to make the roster can have a real impact. This is the beauty of the preseason. It's a chance for younger players and fringe roster members to shine and force the coaching staff to make difficult decisions. When we shift to the tight end position, the story changes. Brock Bowers is already an established force, having earned recognition as one of the top players in the league, but the real drama lies with the lesser-known players fighting for the 3rd tight end spot. Ian Thomas has struggled in preseason, dropping passes and missing assignments, which puts him on thin ice. Albert O is another player vying for that role, and while his performance hasn't been flawless, the Raiders need someone dependable at tight end 3, someone who can execute blocks, run routes, and contribute consistently. Then there's Carter Runnan, an undrafted free agent, quietly making a case for himself with impressive numbers and athleticism that can't be ignored. The tight end room is a microcosm of the broader theme in Las Vegas. The team is in the midst of evaluation, and every rep matters. Moving to the offensive line, This is where continuity and chemistry are paramount. The Raiders have battles across the line, especially at right guard with Alex Kappa and Jackson Powers-Johnson competing for the starting job. The focus here isn't just talent, it's cohesion. Can a line work together under pressure? Can they trust each other to execute in both pass protection and run blocking? Watching players like Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant, you see potential and raw ability, but the coaching staff needs to identify who can consistently perform at a high level. Dalton Wagner and Tassi provide stability on the right side, and monitoring how the rookies integrate is essential. The offensive line sets the tone for the entire offense, and in a Chip Kelly system, execution and timing are everything. On the defensive side, there's plenty to dissect as well. The defensive end room has stars like Max Crosby, who always delivers excitement, but there are young players like Tyree Wilson who are pushing to prove themselves. Malcolm Koonce, recovering from injury, is expected to contribute, but questions remain about his speed and first-step quickness. The defensive line rotation will be critical, especially with potential suspensions or injuries looming. Defensive tackles like Adam Butler, J.J. Pages, and Taka Hemingway are all in the mix, and the Raiders need consistent play in the trenches to establish a pass rush and control the line of scrimmage. Linebackers are facing the challenge of proving they can cover in addition to stopping the run. Jamal Adams, Devin White, and Tommy Eichenberg provide talent and physicality, but the key test will be their ability to read plays and stay disciplined in coverage. Younger players like Jalen Smith and undrafted free agents like Matt Jones are fighting to show they can compete at this level. The linebacker room will be under close scrutiny as their performance impacts not just run defense, but the overall flexibility of the defense. The secondary, particularly the cornerbacks, carries high expectations. Coverage skills, anticipation, and the ability to handle receivers in man and zone schemes are vital. The Raiders need this group to step up and show they can neutralize opponents' top targets. With a mix of veterans and younger players, every snap is a chance to demonstrate readiness and reliability. The performance of the corners will likely shape how confident the team feels heading into the regular season and influence matchups for the defensive scheme. All right, Raiders fans, let's dive even deeper into the defensive side of the football, because this is where games are won and lost. The defensive line has talent at every level, but the key is consistency. Max Crosby continues to be the anchor, the player who can shift the momentum with a single play. His motor is relentless, and when he's on the field, the offense knows they're in trouble. But beyond Crosby, the team is asking a lot from players like Tyree Wilson, who has shown flashes of brilliance, but still needs to refine his technique and awareness. It's not just about speed or raw power here. It's about recognizing plays, reading the offensive line, and reacting in real time. That's what separates a good defensive lineman from a great one, and the Raiders are clearly evaluating every rep these players take. Malcolm Koonce is a veteran presence, but coming back from injury means he's not yet at full speed, and the Raiders are monitoring that carefully. Adam Butler has been solid, but the depth behind him is still a question mark. J.J. Pages and Taka Hemingway are rookies with potential, but the transition from college to the NFL is steep. The line has to gel because if it doesn't, the linebackers and secondary have to cover even more ground, and that's not sustainable over a full season. Linebackers are next, and this is where coverage is the name of the game. Jamal Adams and Devin White are standout talents, no question, but the focus isn't just on how fast or strong they are. It's about their ability to read routes, anticipate the quarterback's eyes, and drop into coverage when needed. Tommy Eichenberg has been making strides, but he needs to show he can be a three-down player, contributing both against the run and in coverage. Young players like Jalen Smith have surprised a few fans with their ability to keep up with receivers, but consistency is the challenge. Undrafted free agents like Matt Jones and Amari Gaynor are fighting for every inch, and preseason reps are their proving ground. They need to show that they can stay disciplined, maintain positioning, and make plays when it counts. The linebacker room sets the tone for the middle of the field, and if this unit can perform at a high level, it allows the secondary to play more aggressively and take calculated risks. Speaking of the secondary, the cornerback position is under a microscope. Opposing offenses are going to test this group relentlessly, especially with the speed and skill of wide receivers in today's game. Coverage ability, awareness, and the ability to play man and zone are all being evaluated simultaneously. The Raiders have a mix of veterans and young talent, and every play is a test. A cornerback who can consistently shadow a top receiver changes the dynamics of a defense and allows safeties to roam freely and create turnovers. This group is critical not only in preventing big plays, but also in generating momentum-shifting stops. Safeties are equally important. They're the last line of defense, and their ability to read the quarterback, support the run, and communicate with the corners can make or break a defensive series. Players like Jamal Adams bring versatility, able to play in the box or cover deep, but the team needs depth beyond him. Young safeties are working hard to earn snaps, and the coaching staff is scrutinizing every angle. Angles on tackles, awareness in coverage, and communication with teammates. The secondary's ability to execute as a cohesive unit will dictate how confident the defense can be against the pass-heavy offenses the Raiders will face this season. Special teams often get overlooked, but in a league this competitive, they are far from secondary. Kickoffs, punts, and coverage units can change the momentum of a game in an instant. Players are being evaluated not just for skill, but for effort, awareness, and the ability to make plays in high-pressure situations. Those who excel here often carve out long-term roles, and the Raiders are paying attention. The ability to execute in special team situations often separates roster locks from bubble players, and this is where determination and grit truly show. Returning to the offense, the interplay between skill positions and the line is crucial. Quarterbacks need trust in their protection schemes, running backs need lanes to hit, and receivers need timing and chemistry to execute routes effectively. Aiden O'Connell and Cam Miller are being tested on their ability to read defenses quickly and make adjustments on the fly. Their rapport with receivers like Dante Thornton Jr., Jacoby Myers, and Cedric Jackson will determine how explosive the passing game can be. Rookies and young players are being given opportunities to prove themselves, but every misstep is magnified under the bright lights of preseason evaluation. The wide receiver room continues to be a fascinating story. Cedric Jackson is making waves with his production, leading the preseason in receiving yards, and showing that even players not guaranteed a roster spot can make a statement. The battle for the final wide receiver spots is fierce, with veterans, rookies, and undrafted players all vying to show reliability, versatility, and the ability to execute under pressure. This room exemplifies the Raiders' philosophy. Performance and opportunity go hand in hand. It's not about reputation or draft status. It's about proving you can make a difference on the field. Tight ends are another critical position group. Brock Bowers has already established himself as one of the top talents, but the focus is on the younger players and those competing for depth spots. Ian Thomas has struggled, and every drop pass or missed block raises questions about his ability to secure a role. Albert O and Carter Runnen are pushing to show they belong, demonstrating route running, hands, and physicality that can complement the starters. The tight end position is often overlooked, but it is vital in both the passing and running games. A reliable tight end can open up the field, create mismatches, and provide security for quarterbacks under pressure. The offensive line remains a cornerstone of the Raiders' plans. Continuity and chemistry are crucial, and battles at positions like right guard between Alex Kappa and Jackson Powers-Johnson highlight the stakes. Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant are rookies with upside, but the coaching staff needs to identify who can consistently execute at a high level. Dalton Wagner and Tassi provide stability, but every snap counts in determining how well the line functions under pressure. In a fast-paced Chip Kelly system, timing and trust between linemen are non-negotiable. Every position group on this team is in a battle, and preseason is the proving ground. Quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, linemen, and defensive players all have the opportunity to secure roles and show they can contribute. The Raiders are evaluating not just talent, but decision-making, consistency, and resilience. Each snap, Each rep and each moment on the field is an audition, and the players who rise to the occasion will define the team's success. For fans, this is an exciting, high-stakes period full of intrigue, surprises, and glimpses of the future. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. DK Metcalf's sudden departure from the Pittsburgh Steelers has sent shockwaves throughout the NFL community, and the news that he has finalized a mega contract with the Las Vegas Raiders has only intensified speculation about the team's immediate future. Rumors first began circulating late last week, when insiders hinted at a potential disagreement between Metcalf and the Steelers' management regarding his role in the offensive scheme and long-term contract negotiations. Sources close to the player suggested that Metcalf had grown increasingly frustrated with his targets and felt underutilized in Pittsburgh's passing game, which may have fueled his desire to explore free agency options. The Raiders, known for their aggressive approach in acquiring marquee talent, reportedly saw this as an opportunity to make a bold statement and strengthen their wide receiver core, pairing Metcalf with their existing offensive weapons. Analysts are now speculating how Metcalf's unique combination of size, speed, and physicality will transform Las Vegas' aerial attack, especially considering his ability to dominate contested catches and create mismatches against defensive backs. The buzz around the league is palpable, with fans and pundits alike dissecting the financial terms of the deal and predicting the potential ripple effects on team dynamics, locker room chemistry, and future draft strategies. The magnitude of this transaction cannot be overstated, as reports suggest Metcalf's contract with the Raiders is among the most lucrative ever awarded to a wide receiver in the league, encompassing guaranteed money, performance incentives, and potential roster bonuses tied to statistical benchmarks. Observers have speculated that the financial commitment alone signals the Raiders' determination to compete at the highest level, and that Metcalf is expected to be a centerpiece in their offensive identity moving forward. Rumors have already surfaced that team executives are considering adjustments to their offensive coordinator's playbook to maximize Metcalf's unique skill set, potentially creating a more vertical passing attack to exploit mismatches and increase scoring opportunities. Industry insiders suggest that Metcalf's presence could also attract other high-profile free agents in future windows, further reinforcing the perception that Las Vegas is serious about contending for the postseason. Fans have flooded social media platforms with a mix of excitement, skepticism, and debate, dissecting how this acquisition will impact the balance of power within the AFC West. Meanwhile, speculation continues regarding the Steelers' next moves, as some sources hint at an urgent search for a replacement receiver who can step into Metcalf's role without disrupting the offensive rhythm. Beyond the financial and tactical implications, the human element of this transition has captured the imagination of fans, players, and coaches alike, as whispers about Metcalf's personality, work ethic, and leadership qualities have begun circulating across NFL circles. Rumors suggest that his departure may not have been entirely acrimonious, as some teammates reportedly expressed admiration for his professionalism and commitment to his craft, while others were reportedly disappointed to see a key playmaker leave so abruptly. Analysts have speculated that Metcalf's competitive nature and desire to showcase his abilities on a larger stage played a significant role in his decision, and that the Raiders' environment, one often described as high-risk, high-reward, may be precisely the type of setting in which he can thrive. Some insider chatter even hints at Metcalf mentoring younger receivers within the Raiders organization, potentially reshaping the team's culture and approach to skill development over the next several seasons. The timing of the announcement, coinciding with preseason preparations, has only fueled the rumor mill further, prompting discussions about whether the Raiders' offensive identity will shift dramatically to accommodate their new star, or whether coaches will attempt to maintain a balance between established strategies and Metcalf's explosive talents. Strategically, the implications of this acquisition are already the subject of fervent speculation among league observers, as Metcalf's arrival could force defensive coordinators across the AFC West to rethink their coverage schemes and personnel assignments. Rumors abound that teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and Denver Broncos are already planning adjustments to account for Metcalf's ability to win contested catches, draw double coverage, and stretch the field vertically, potentially opening opportunities for other receivers and tight ends within the Raiders' offense. Some insiders have suggested that the Raiders may also explore innovative formations and motion concepts to fully exploit Metcalf's physical advantages, which could lead to a ripple effect in offensive philosophy league-wide. Pundits are debating how quarterback dynamics will evolve with a new target in place, speculating that the presence of a dominant outside threat could alleviate pressure on a running game and create mismatches that redefine the Raiders' play-calling tendencies. Meanwhile, betting markets have reportedly reacted to the news, with some odds makers adjusting win projections and over-under lines based on the potential impact of Metcalf's integration into the offense. The excitement has created a palpable sense of anticipation among fans, with many eager to see whether these rumors will translate into tangible success on the field or simply remain a tantalizing talking point throughout the season. Off the field, whispers surrounding Metcalf's endorsement deals, media presence, and potential branding opportunities have added another layer to the ongoing buzz as speculation grows about how the Raiders' platform might enhance his visibility and marketability. Rumors suggest that corporate sponsors and marketing teams are already strategizing ways to leverage the excitement generated by the signing, potentially amplifying Metcalf's influence far beyond the gridiron. Industry observers have noted that such high-profile moves can have cascading effects, influencing ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and even local fan engagement, all of which could translate into tangible benefits for the franchise. Meanwhile, chatter within the Steelers organization hints at a reassessment of their talent pipeline and draft strategy as executives weigh whether to invest in younger receivers or pursue a more immediate replacement capable of producing at a comparable level. Fans remain deeply engaged in the narrative, dissecting every reported detail, from training camp adjustments to potential on-field chemistry with the Raiders' quarterback. The conversation has grown so pervasive that analysts are already predicting a media frenzy once preseason games begin, with every target, catch, and touchdown analyzed for signs of Metcalf's impact. In this environment of speculation and anticipation, it seems clear that the Metcalf-Raiders connection has captured the imagination of the football world, and that the reverberations of this mega signing will dominate discussions for months to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.